Hey y'all, my name is Taylor. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. So today's video is going to be part 2 of the Pack and Purge vlog series that I am doing. So if you haven't watched part 1, go back and watch that first, because there's been no progression of time since that end clip of part 1. I literally am filming it on the same day. I'm just cutting it off and starting a new vlog, which is this one, because I didn't want vlog 1 to be ridiculously long. I'm pretty sure it's going to be super long. I haven't edited it. I can't words. Edited it. We're just going to go with that. So I don't know how long it's going to be, but I have a feeling it's pretty chatty, pretty lengthy. So I'm just going to split it off and start a new vlog for this one. So go back and if you haven't watched it. So just to recap, I am trying my best to read what is on my shelves, exclusively what is on my shelves until we move. I hope to figure out what books I want to keep, what is valuable enough to take up space, which is if you've ever moved, you know. So that's my goal with this, and I had asked some people, some friends, and on my community tab for some suggestions for prompts to use so that I would really challenge myself and branch out and read books that I might not necessarily want to read or be drawn to as much as some other ones. And I've never done a TBR thing, and so far so good. I haven't hated any of the books that I've picked once I've started the blog series, so that's good. So hopefully this will continue. I really do want to like my books, but it'll be nice to kind of purge, a little bit maybe. So let us, without further ado, pick a book. I need something. That's the caveat with this right now. I need something on audio. I do have a book still left over from vlog 1. It is The Silver Chair by C.S. Lewis. That one I may put on indefinite hold for me doing, because I am going to keep that one regardless. I've thought about it more, and I know I'm just going to keep the Chronicles of Narnia, which is the point of this vlog, is to pack or purge, and I know I'm going to keep it anyway. So I think I'm just going to hold off on that one for now. And besides that, the audiobook is not available right now. It's on hold. So I'm just going to move on and pick something else. So let us see what this is. I did it right side up this time. Okay. I've been doing them upside down for vlog 1. So Trees on the Cover. And this is from Lauren from Intuitive Reading. Hey, Lauren. Shout out to Lauren. Trees on the Cover. I'm sure that won't be too terribly hard. I feel like that's a common thing, but I'm going to look and see what I got, and that also is on audio, so let me figure that out and get back to you. Okay, y'all, so I didn't have as many books as I thought that had trees on them that I haven't read, but I guess it's a decent stack. So I have The Lone Heart by Shelley Shepherd Gray. It's a Texas love story, apparently. I have Beyond the Silence by Tracy Peterson and Kimberly Woodhouse. Not sure, because there's a sticker on the back what it's about, but it's some kind of historical something. Dauntless by Dinah L. Slyman. This is, I believe, it looks like a Robin Hood retelling with Robin being a girl, or similar character. Keturah by Lisa T. Berggren. That one I think is West Indies story of a woman who inherited a plantation. And Between Two Shores by Jocelyn Green. I really like this cover. I think it's really pretty. This one is 1750s, choosing a side between England and France, something or other. Don't know. And then All Things New by Lynn Austen. And this is a Civil War, after the Civil War is won. Like a, what is it called? What is that time period called? It starts with an R. Reconstruction? Is it Reconstruction? My brain. Oh, embarrassing. But yeah, out of all of those books, some of them did not have an audiobook available, like on the platforms that I use. I use Hoopla, which Hoopla has hit the daily limit for today for the library, so I can't use Hoopla. I use Libby when I absolutely have to. Most of the time, everything's on hold, so I don't ever really get to use Libby. If I want to read something then and there. And then my last chance is Audible. I did the free 3-month subscription for Audible to try and help me get some of these books done. And I figured, it would be good to have in order to drive up there. So with Audible, some of those required credits, which I don't want to use. I want to be very picky about my credits. But they do have some free books available. And ding, 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 this one has the only one that I can read, listen to. So we're going with this one, All Things New by Lynn Austen. So I shall read you the back. The war is over. The South is lost. Josephine Weatherly struggles to pick up the pieces of her life when her family returns to their Virginia plantation. But the realities of life after war cannot be denied. Her home and land are but a shell of her previous grandeur. Death has claimed her father and brother, and her remaining brother, Daniel, has returned home bitter and broken, her life of privilege a long-ago dream. Josephine soon realizes that life is now a matter of daily survival and recognizes that Lizzie, as one of the few remaining servants, is the one she must rely on to teach her all she needs to know. Josephine's mother, too, vows to rebuild White Oak, but a bitter hatred fuels her. Can hope and a battered faith in God survive amid the devastation? Reconstruction. I was right. Look at that. Look at the brain finally coming up with the correct word. So this is a little bit of a thicker, my friend Tammy over the Protagonist Pub, she'll probably laugh at me that this is a thick book, but it's not thick. I don't mean to say that. It is thicker than the books that I have been reading lately. So, and I can't say that I'm necessarily drawn to this one, so I'm glad that this challenge is making me pick this up and see if I actually want to keep owning it. So I read one Civil War era book earlier this year and I really enjoyed it. So, but this does not appear to be a romance, so we will see about that because I struggle with books that don't have romance in it. I just need a little bit. I don't know. I have to be in a very specific mood to read a non-romance at all book. So, don't know if this has it or not, so we shall see. But I have read other books by Lynn Austen, and they were very, very good, so I have high hopes for it. But yeah, wish me luck. Hopefully I'll be better at this vlog, like actually updating you as I'm reading. We'll see. We will see about that too, because life be lifing. But anyways, I'll catch you in the next clip. Hey y'all, so it's like 11:30 at night, and I have showered, which is why my hair looks like this. But I wanted to give you a quick update on All Things New by Lynn Austen. I'm about 60% through, and I'm really, really enjoying it. So just to recap on what it is, I didn't realize this going into it, but there are 3 different perspectives, and I think that really lends to the story and makes it even better than what I was expecting it to be. So one of them is Josephine. She is a 22-year-old young woman who is the daughter of former slave owners, and she, the Civil War happened while she was, 17 to 22, and she is really just disillusioned with God. She was a believer, but she's just really angry that the South lost the war. Her way of life has changed, but primarily that she lost her father and her brother. They died in the war, and she's just mad that, all the praying that she did just seemed to be for naught. God doesn't listen, God doesn't care, God is vengeful, God is wrathful, that type of thing. So she's just really lost in her faith, and, having to cope with the aftermath of the South losing the war and what that means for their life, how different things have to be. And the second perspective is her mother, which her name is Eugenia. She is
50 years old, and so she, was a slave owner with her husband. Her husband has passed away. One of her sons has passed away. Her other son has come back from the war, and he is, modern readers going to know that he has PTSD, and he's just not the same. He's just not able to come back from it mentally and emotionally, and he's just kind of struggling to, not be bitter and, take care of the plantation, what needs to happen. And so she's kind of, she's been holding the household, which is her and Josephine and her youngest daughter, Mary. She's been holding the plantation down by herself, and, it takes a really strong character to do that. So I do admire her personality and her character traits. But she's very, very frustrating because she was a former slave owner. Like, her thoughts and viewpoints on people are, not right. She, thinks of what she still views as slaves. Those people are still lesser than, and even, she, is, there's a doctor, that's helping her out, and she even views him, he's a white man, and she even views him as like of a lesser standing than her, a lesser social standing than her. Like, she's very, she's a brat, and she just doesn't understand that things have to be different, and she wants so hard for things to go back to normal and for her to reclaim what she lost, is what she keeps saying over and over and over again. And she's very impractical. Like, she has lost basically all of her slaves except for one of them, which is the third perspective. And she has two. And there's just no way that, that two people can handle all of the work that goes into running a plantation. And she just doesn't want to see that. Like, she is complaining about, the food not being the same, and the house is getting into disrepair. I'm like, there's only two people to handle everything. Get off your lazy butt and do something, but that's not how things were. It's, change takes time, especially people's mindsets. And then the third perspective is a former slave, Lizzie, and she's married with some kids, and you see her learning how to be free, and just her thought process behind that is really fascinating. Really, all three perspectives are just fascinating and make this story just kind of more whole and complete, so to speak, because you get the different vantage points and their different struggles. And I'm really hoping that Josephine will grow closer to the Lord. I really think she will, and that Eugenia will get off her high horse, and that Lizzie will have her happily ever after with her family. I'm really hoping that for all three characters. Like, I'm really invested in them, and I really enjoy reading about them. Although Eugenia is getting on my nerves at several times, but I know, that's probably realistic. That she would be, kind of stick in the mud for change. But there's some, there's some elements of real history in there too that's kind of making its way into the story, like probably the beginnings of the Ku Klux Klan coming out, probably something a precursor to that, maybe, stuff like that. The Freedmen's Bureau, which I didn't realize was a thing. So I'm learning some history, which is one of my absolute favorite things about historical fiction, is that you get nuggets of history in the story, and because you're reading it in a story, you learn, and it sticks in your mind better. I was really unsure if this would have romance in it or not, and it does. Lizzie, like I said, is married, and their romance is really sweet. You can see a picture of a marriage like the way God would want it to be. And then there's some surprises in some of the other perspectives. So actually, Josephine, I think there may be forbidden romance with a Union soldier, a Yankee. So that's really fun. But so far, I'm really, really enjoying it. It's making me think, it's helping me learn, and I'm just really invested in the characters, for sure. So at the very least, it is a 4. Least may even be a 5, depending on how well she pulls off these character growths, their arcs, particularly in Josephine's case with Faith. I'm a sucker for a person coming back to or to Faith. So I'm really, really excited to finish this book, and yeah, I'm really glad I got this pick. And I think I should finish it pretty soon. And by the way, the audiobook, I'm sorry, I'm like playing with a pen. I'm just thinking while I'm messing with this pen. But anyways, the audiobook is really, really good. She does, I can't remember who it's with, but it's on Audible. It's free until like August 19th or something or other. They're taking it off. But anyways, she does such a good job, like, with Southern accents, especially like, even men's accents. She does such a good job with men's Southern accents. Like, I don't know, you can just, there's a different type of, like a slave versus slave owner accent, and she differentiates them really well. At least from what I've seen from movies, like Gone with the Wind. This does kind of remind me a lot of Gone with the Wind, as far as like, the setting, obviously, like what the Reconstruction period looked like. So I'm like having like mental flashbacks to Gone with the Wind, and I'm familiar with this time period because of that movie. Yeah, even like the house on the cover, doesn't that look like Tara from Gone with the Wind? So I don't know if that was intentional or not, or it's a kind of a standard looking plantation house. But yeah, I'm just really fascinated with this book, but I will let you know my final thoughts. I just wanted to come in and chat about it and let you know.
Hey y'all, I finished All Things New by Lynn Austen. I really, really enjoyed this one. There were quite a lot of things, the overwhelming majority of this book I really, really enjoyed. There were a few things that I didn't like or didn't entirely agree with. So I am going to put this solidly, if I can talk, at a 4-star rating. I would recommend it if you enjoy Civil War or Reconstruction period stories, if you like more character driven, because there were some events in this book, but I would say it's primarily character based or character driven. We have 3 main characters, and they all go through some kind of challenge or growth, and it was very interesting to see. Now, this book does take place all within 5 months, and I do think that is an unrealistically short period of time to undo or retrain someone's brain and how they've lived for that long. So there's that, some unrealisticness, I think. And then the ending wrapped up a little bit too nicely. Like, I enjoyed it as, like, I got what I wanted for my characters, but I think it was probably a little bit too unrealistic. So, too optimistic. So if that kind of thing bothers you, that you should be aware of that. But overall, it is a very good story. There is faith in this. There were a few points with the faith talks that I may not necessarily have agreed entirely with what some of the characters were talking about or discussing. So that kind of did play a role in giving it a 4-star and not a 5-star. But overall, highly recommend. Very glad I picked it up. It's going to stay on my shelves, so that's a winner. I'm going to keep it for my library. So I need to pick something else, and I thought that I would like to participate in a readathon and kind of tweak it to fit my picking from my shelves, at least for the duration of this vlog. That, let me see, I wrote it down. That readathon is the End of Summer Jam, a mood readathon for August. I was about to say January. That is not right. August. And this is the creation of Christy over at Christy A. Cole's channel. She's the main host, but she has some co-hosts, and that is Reese from The Writing Songbird, Lucy from the Lucy Chronicles, Molly from Molly J Books, and Kelly from Bookish Kelly. So those ladies are putting on this readathon, and I thought it was so interesting, unique, fun, because it's not like anything I've ever heard of for a readathon. It is, you pick a book based on your mood, and then you answer questions as you read the book. So if you read book 1, you read question 1. And I really, really want to answer the questions. I'm not entirely mood-based for this purpose, so that's what I'm talking about with tweaking things, because I am still going to pull from my jar, but I will reserve the right to pick another prompt if I don't like the sound of the book that I pick. So that's my tweak for making it still a mood readathon, which is the point of the readathon. So let's pick the book. So I have my jar here, and I'm gonna stir it up and see what all we pick. All right, this up. Okay, so I'm gonna show y'all first. Hey, I did it right this time. Water on the Cover, and this is given to me by Lauren from Intuitive Reading. Hey Lauren, hey girl. Thank you for the prompt. And water. Yeah, I still very much think that August is a summer month, even though a lot of schools are going back to school. I know in my area, they're already back in school, which is crazy to me because I remember being in school and we didn't go back till like mid to late August. So it's very jarring. But anyways, water seems very on point for summer, end of summer jam readathon. So let me figure out what has water on the cover and I will get back to you. Okie doke, I found 4 options that have water on the cover, and I may be in the mood for. So I am going to read the back cover and see if any of these will strike my fancy the most. And yeah, I don't know, like I've heard mixed feelings about like reading the synopses in the back, but I am kind of thinking about this on the spot. But let me know if y'all prefer me to do that, or if you want me to like read them on my own and then come back with my thoughts. But here we go. So this is Traitor in the Scottish Isles, and an inspirational romantic suspense by Paige Edwards. And there's the water around the Isles, I assume. So an interception message, 2 missing MI6 agents, and a traitor hiding in plain sight. To receive her inheritance and escape a scandal not of her making, wealthy socialite Kirsty Henderson moves to a small town in the Scottish Isles, far from the city lights and runways she frequents. There she encounters the Irish spy responsible for the public breakup that made her the laughingstock of the Scottish borders. Sheridan, a hardened MI6 agent, is on an undercover assignment to locate missing operatives and the mysterious traitor passing top-secret information to the Chinese. Unfortunately, there's one hitch. Kirsty Henderson knows his true identity, and she detests him. So, there's more, but I think that's good. An idea of what that one's about. Then there is Unearth the Tides by Alyssa Zavalinos. You have a hard last name, girl. So this one is a retelling, I think, of the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Yep, fantasy retelling of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, filled with mystery, found family, and themes of truth and forgiveness. Perfect for those who love the coziness of classics and the thrill of adventure. So, Huxley crew Gannon III always knew he would be a royal guard. Defending the crown is in his blood. And coming from a long line of Gannons, that meant the job is to be taken seriously at all costs. When tragedy strikes, Huxley is framed for treason, and his only option is to flee to Bracca's most feared place, the Wasteful Tides. It's rumored a monstrous beast haunts these waters, but what Huxley encounters is even worse. An elusive captain, magical herbs, a beautiful lady, and unearthed truths that could change the course of history. So I don't know if this is a romance or not. I don't know. But it definitely fits the bill for water on the cover, because most of the cover is water.
This is interesting. I've never read never read a 20,000 Leagues. I've seen the movie, but I've never seen or read the book or heard of a retelling of it before. Against the Tide by Elizabeth Camden. This one is historical Christian fiction. After a childhood rampant with uncertainty, Lydia Pallas has carved out a perfect life for herself. She spends her days within sight of the bustling Boston Harbor, where her skill with language has landed her an enviable position as a translator for the U.S. Navy. Lydia's talents bring her to the attention of Alexander Bainbridge, a mysterious man in need of a translator. Driven by a campaign to end the opium trade, Bain is coolly analytical and relentless in his quest. He cannot afford to fall for Lydia and must fight the bittersweet love growing between them. When Bain's enemies gain the upper hand, he is forced to turn to Lydia for help. Determined to prove her worth, Lydia soon discovers that carrying out Bain's mission will test her wits and her courage to the very limits. So, let me just make sure my child is still asleep. She is. Okay, good. Alright, last one is this one. And I actually was going to show you all this because I just got this. I pre-ordered it. So it is Awakened by Rosanna M. White. And the spine is painted. I thought that's really cool. So this one I believe is a Little Mermaid retelling, I think. So let's see. Arden Blue has always known that her stepsister Jade was destined for great things. In a world where beauty follows magic, she has no doubt that their upcoming awakening ceremony will reveal the gorgeous Jade is far more than a mere mortal. But when Jade is kidnapped by a mysterious sect of Mer on the eve of the newly returned king's ball, Arden will do anything to save her sister, even face down the man she's always dreaded meeting because of the power he holds over her family. The man to whom her father swore loyalty long before she was born, the Sea King. In a world on the brink of war between the Mer and the land dwellers, friendship, faith, and love demand the ultimate sacrifice as both kingdoms seek to unlock the prophesied magic waiting to spring forth, the magic of the wind and sky. To the Mer, it would mean the freedom to return to the land. To Sidon's court, it would mean safety from every storm. But how can any human hand wield the wind? So, not quite sure which one I want to read. Oh my goodness, this is so hard. I did look to see if any of these have audiobooks, and none of them do, which is a bummer. So I don't know. I think all of them I can access via ebook. I think I checked. Actually, this one I cannot. I don't think I can. I think I had to pay for it. So I think I'll hold off on this one for now because reasons previously mentioned. So that leaves these three. Oh my goodness. Let's see, I just read a historical. I read a historical before that and then a fantasy before that. So I haven't read a romantic suspense in a hot minute. But do I want to? I think I'm going to skip out on Against the Tide for now because I think I'm good on historical for a little bit more. So fantasy or romantic suspense? Let's do, I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to see what this one's all about. The Traitor in the Scottish Isles. If I don't like it, then I will possibly read this one. Or I may pick another prompt. We'll see. Whatever my mood goes for, right? So yeah, I will let you know my thoughts on Traitor in the Scottish Isles. Stay tuned. Hello. It is 4 a.m. I just got done feeding my son. You may hear him talking. I don't know. He just put his passy back in. We're waiting for him to sit upright a little bit longer before I put him back down. If you've never had children before, you may not know that after you feed a baby, you have to have them upright for 15 to 20 minutes. Otherwise, they could spit up or they
it decreases the chances of splitting up. It helps everything stay down. Gravity, you know. So, anyways, he may talk. He's been a little bit talkative this morning, so. Anyways, I have an update. I started reading Trader in the Scottish Isles, and this is the first flop of my Pack and Purge series, which, you know, that's pretty good. I've been reading a lot of good books lately. I got 7% in, and I don't know, maybe I'm just not the right person for this, the right audience. I'm in the right mood, maybe. Ironic considering this is the mood readathon. Sir, where are you going? Hold on a second. Okay, sorry. My son is very squirmy. I have him propped up, and he's squirming out of the position I put him in. So I had to rescue somebody. Anyways, yeah, the writing style is just very, I don't know, my brain is having a hard time digesting it. It just seems very, I don't know what word to use. Yeah, it's just not good for me. Yeah, and very, very unrealistic. Like, I can, sir, he's completely laying down now. Okay, that is against the goal here, sir. What are you doing? I guess that's all right. You can hang out for a little bit there, but we've been sitting up long enough. Anyways, this is a dumpster fire of an update, but yeah, it just seemed very unrealistic to me. Especially the preface, like what the consequences were for a file running into the wrong hands or something. I was like, that's a bit extreme. I don't know. Maybe there's just stuff going on in Secret Service intelligence work that could be that severe, but I doubt it. I don't know. There's a lot of lingo that just, I was just glazing over. I was like, I don't even know if this is real. I just cannot work up the motivation to try and digest this. I just really am here for the story, and the story is just not grabbing me very much either. That, I don't know, I don't really care for the main character that much. Again, it's only 7% in, so, you know, what can I really tell from that? But enough, I guess. And I don't know, going along with the unrealisticness, the female main character has 6 godmothers, and she's Scottish, I think she's Scottish. Can't really tell. It's really hard to tell. I think she's supposed to be. She's a lady, and the setting didn't really seem immersive to me. Like, I wasn't really getting the Scottish side of things yet. The accents didn't really seem believable either, or I don't know, the setting was not there yet. And she has 6 godmothers. Granted, she is a lady, but I'm like, okay, that's a lot of godparents to go through. And not only that, they barely know this woman. She passed away apparently, which is why she inherited this estate or whatever. So I'm at the part where she finds out that she has inherited this estate. And she has 6 godparents, and I'm like, if you don't know one of them well enough, a godparent is supposed to take the child in event of the parent's death. To me, that just seems way too unrealistic, that there's 6 of them, first of all, and then the godparent would barely know this person that's their godchild. Like, she only sends her gifts. I don't think she's ever really met her, and the parents don't really know her. Like, she's like a distant cousin. And I'm like, okay, I think I've had enough. Like, I feel bad, but I just don't think this book is for me. It's got really good reviews on Goodreads. It's got 4-star ratings, really good reviews. It's just not for me. So that one was a dud for me. So I'm going to go back to bed here in a second, but I wanted to give an update that I think I'm going to read or try to read against the tides. If that one doesn't work out for me, then I'm going to pull a new prompt. So just want to give that quick update. Nighty night.
Hello, I have an update. So, first of all, let me address my voice. My voice is shot. The weather here in South Carolina has been unbearably hot. In fact, it went from feeling over 100 for like a solid week to today, where it plummeted down to 75 with rain all day long, pretty much. So, when that type of weather drastic changes happens, usually my voice is affected. This is pretty bad. I mean, it doesn't hurt or anything. It just, my voice is just kind of struggling. So, I need to make this kind of quick to save my voice. But I did have an update for y'all. Let me grab the books. So, my last clip, I was talking about how I was DNFing Traitor in the Scottish Isles just because it's just not for me. Unhauling that one. I think I said in the clip before that the wrong book. Both of them have tides in the title. I had to cut out a cough. Sorry about that. So I think I said Against the Tides, which is this book, when I really meant this book. I do not feel like reading this book right now. I want to give it a chance, especially since it's my first Elizabeth Camden book. I just don't feel like reading it, and I do want to give it a fair shot whenever I am interested. So I picked up Unearth the Tides by Alyssa Zavelianos. I think that's how you say her name, not sure. But I got about 20% in, and it's not for me either. It's very hard going from an excellent writer like Lynn Austen to someone who's not as strong a writer, and the writing is really bothering me with this. I think some things are just not explained completely or well. Another cough, sorry. Need to hurry up. It's just, things just aren't fully explained, and I'm not quite sure what they're talking about, what the author is talking about, and I don't know, things are just not making sense to me. And this is supposed to be about a 20-year-old man, and he and his friends read very much like late teens, early 20s. Like, this reads more like YA to me. I don't know if it is classified as YA, but I feel like if you have a character that old, it should be adult. But, yeah, and the story's just not that interesting to me, so I'm just calling it quits, cutting my losses, and I'm going to unhaul this as well. So even though my reading experience is not being good right now, the last two books I've tried are DNFs, at least there's a silver lining in that I don't have to waste the space. So there's that. But I need to pick a new book for tonight when I read to my son, when I feed my son. And I think what I want to do is skip out on the prompts this time and really go for the mood reading part of the August readathon. I just feel like I really need to pick something that really catches my attention right now, because I feel like I'm on the verge of a slump, having 2 DNFs back to back. So I'm looking at my shelves and what all I could look at doing, because I think I'm feeling more like fantasy or sci-fi maybe. I'm feeling more on that end versus historical, definitely not contemporary. I think what I want to do is I have a duology, and I've been very interested in reading these. And if I don't like book 1, I can get rid of book 2 at the same time. So that would save, a decent amount of space book-wise. So I'm going to pick up book 1, and I think that I have seen the audiobook on Hoopla maybe. So that'd be good. We have we are so close to moving right now. I think we are at 8 days away. I think I could finish this in 8 days, and if I do, then if book 2 is on audio as well, I could be listening to that on the drive. I may finish both of them before that. We'll see. That would be the goal, but I hope at least I can get book 1 done. If I like it well enough, I will keep both of them. If I don't, then I'll unhaul both of them. So that's what I'm going to do for now. I'm not going to get rid of the prompts because I really do want to try reading from my shelves in the future. But I think this will probably be the last 2 that I read before we move. I'll be very surprised if I can get more than that done. But I do want to try and prioritize my shelves going forward and read all of my shelves, or at least like 1 a month maybe, if not more, or not entirely. So anyways, I'm going to put this on my TBR to read next. And it looks like there might be flying creatures. I don't know. I should probably read you the synopsis. So, Secrets in the Mist by Morgan L. Bussey. And it's the book 1 of Skyworld. And it says, "What's lurking in the mist is the least of their worries. In a world where humanity lives in the sky to escape a deadly mist below, Cass's only goal is survival. That is, until she finds a job on the airship Daedalus as a diver. Now she explores ruined cities looking for treasure and people's lost heirlooms until a young man hires her to find the impossible, a way to eradicate the mist." There's more. I don't want to know more. I will just read it. So, I'm very intrigued by the mist and what's going on. It is supposed to be like a steampunk type fantasy. I've never read steampunk before, so I'm very excited to try and read it. Hopefully I like this one. I have read other books by her, which would be the Ravenwood Saga, and is one of my favorites of all time, so I'm hoping that this one will be a winner as well. So I'm going to stop rambling because Lord knows I can't talk anymore. So I'll let you know my thoughts in the next clip. Hey y'all, so I am 53% into Secrets in the Mist by Morgan L. Bussey, and I have been reading it on my Kindle, and I have also been listening to it, just kind of depending on what I'm doing. But I am so glad I picked this book. This is right up my alley. I'm having so much fun reading this. Like, it's giving 5 stars. Like, I'll be very surprised if it's not. It's so good. Yeah, so it's about Cass. She is, I believe she's 17. She is a survivor of this mist. So 200 years ago, there was a war, and one side created this mist to, like, it was supposed to stop people, like, put them in a coma or whatever, but it went wrong, and it ended up killing people and turning them into basically zombies. It's like this spore that kind of takes over their bodies, and, like, you know, they're basically like zombies. So the survivors, or like the elite, are like highly condensed into like on the mountains, like they're up above like where the mist is. And so she survived this purge. Every so often, like the upper echelon will purge the population, or sections of the population that are too crowded. And so her parents died in one of these purges, and she's been surviving ever since. She ends up getting onto the ship where there are divers, and so her role is to find treasure in these areas that have the mist. Like, they have like these gas masks, and they like glide into them, like kind of like paragliding, I guess, similar. But there's also a second perspective with a guy who is studying the mist, and he's realizing that the mist is expanding again, which is a big concern because it's, you know, the human population is already so condensed, like, it's coming, you know. it is giving like I said, it's very much like a zombie type story. Kind of like World War Z maybe, or I don't want to say The Walking Dead because it's not nearly as gruesome as that. I have seen, let me say, my husband used to watch that back in the day. He does not watch that now. And I kind of vicariously saw a few episodes and I was scarred for life. Like, oh my goodness. I think I saw the worst episodes by chance. Oh my goodness. I had no interest in watching it at that time, but it's kind of like you're watching in horrified fascination, you know? Anyways, it lives rent-free in my head. I hate it, but anyways, it's not disgusting like that. It's just, they're called the Turned, and they will come for you. And basically, it's like the spore that takes over like the corpse, and like it wants to grow or whatever. So, a spread, I guess. So, very, very interesting world. Oh yeah, so I was saying it kind of gives like World War Z or The Walking Dead for the zombie aspect of it, and then it kind of reminds me a little bit of like Avatar, The Last Airbender, with like their dirigible ships like flying through the air, and like what was the other thing I wanted to say? It's also reminded me of like this Doctor Who episode. I'm pretty sure there's a Doctor Who episode where the city has like this mist and you don't go into the mist because there's like monsters in it or something. Pretty sure there's an episode like that if I'm remembering correctly. I think it's in like the one with Martha, I think. I'm not sure. It's been a while. I didn't like the ones with Martha. The 10th Doctor with his companion Martha. But anyways, so it's giving like all these different components, and that's just really fun. I just finished reading chapter 19. Y'all. Oh my goodness. There was some action going on. It was intense. Let me just say, it was intense. And I did see something coming, but I was like, I really hope this doesn't happen, but it did. So, no spoilers, but oh my goodness, that was a wild ride of a chapter. So, but I really enjoyed it. So, did I start this yesterday? I feel like I did. I can't even remember. Yesterday or the day before. I'm reading it pretty quick, is the point. So I am pretty sure I'm going to finish this before we move. So I'm like 90% sure I'm going to keep it. But yeah, I just want to give y'all an update on my reading experience. It's going really well. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that I went off of the mood. Yay for Mood August.
Hey y'all. So if you can't tell from the background, which is different, we are in our new place of residence in Indiana. So yeah, it got to be crunch time, y'all, and I did not have time to film. I did not have time for much of anything. It was very, very stressful. But we're here. We made it. Praise God for that. So I just want to kind of recap everything that's happened since our move. Oh goodness, it feels so long. It's been a while since I filmed the last clip. Just so much has happened. Let me think. So the weekend of moving, we used our social capital, and a lot of them were Luke's friend and a little bit of my family and his family came to help us pack up. We were in dire straits near the end. A lot of things got thrown into boxes. I was hoping to declutter some more. It didn't really happen. I did clutter a good bit, don't get me wrong, but it's never enough. So we started filling up the moving van, which we got the biggest one, y'all, and it was still not enough for The stuff takes up space real quick. So a lot of last minute, here, take this. So a lot of our stuff did not make it with us. They have found new homes. A lot of stuff got donated to Goodwill at the last minute. So yeah, it was very stressful. The morning of closing, it was raining, and yeah, it was a struggle to get like last minute things packed up. It's just very surreal, like telling our neighbors goodbye after we bought the house, like looking at the house because the U-Haul was still parked in the parking spot. So we asked them to keep it there until after closing, and yeah, it's just very surreal, like looking at the house and having our cars parked there, but it not being ours anymore. And so the following day, we got up real early. I think we got up at like 4 something in the morning, 4:30, somewhere around there. Got on the road, got things packed up, and was hitting the road by 7. And yeah, so what happened was my husband took the giant U-Haul, and drove, I think he drove from like 7 to 2. He did not stop. He just kept going. We started out together, all 3 of us, all 3 vehicles. My husband's best friend drove my husband's car, and I drove my car with our 2 kids and our 2 dogs. So the 3 of us started off on the same time, and the hubs quickly overtook us despite his diminished speed with the U-Haul. As you can imagine, with 2 kids, a 2-year-old and a 6-month-old, and 2 dogs, that required a lot of stops. It is 10 hours from where we lived in South Carolina to where we live now in Indiana, and it ended up taking us 15 hours to get here. Yes, we did accomplish it all in one day. There was just a lot of time. There was a time commitment that we had to get up here because my husband started school, so we needed to get up here and get things situated, and money and time and all the things. So we'll never be doing that again, hopefully, if not very, very far in the future, because let me tell y'all, that was probably one of the most stressful days of my life. Because I mean, I've driven before, but never as the sole adult in the car with other beings that I'm responsible for. Granted, the hub's best friend was with me the whole time in another car, but still, I was leading the way. I don't usually lead like the caravan of vehicles to get anywhere. I'm not a directions person. I am directionally challenged. And I am not the best driver. I just am very cautious, and yeah. So it was very, very hard on the kids, towards the end. There was a lot of sobbing in the back seat, but we were so close to getting here. It's like we just got to power through, y'all. So we did try to make as many stops as possible to try and keep them as comfortable as possible. With a 2-year-old and 6-month-old, there's only so much they can do in the car to keep entertained. But it was basically like, rubbing off a Band-Aid. Like, yeah, it was something else. Would not recommend. But yeah, you do what you gotta do. So anyways, we get here around like 10:30 at night, something like that. And so I had to get the kids ready for bed, and the 2 guys were trying to unload the house by themselves, unload the van to get the stuff into the house. We were getting like, it felt like we were getting nowhere, and it was getting close to like 2 in the morning, and I was like, yeah, this is not gonna we're not gonna finish this. So you all did end up giving us an extra day for free, because I guess we paid that much to begin with. I don't know why, but we got the extra day for free. We passed out that night and got up again early because children don't comply with your lack of sleep. So they got up, and thank goodness I already had daycare set up for them, so I got them to daycare, and we were able to load the van completely. Dylan went back, he flew back that day. So I had the rest of the week off, and so was able to unpack a bit. And so from that time on, it was very chaotic because despite making as much progress as we did, it is very, very hard to unpack things with a toddler and a baby, finding the time. Because the following week I went back to work. The weekends, you can't really do much besides take care of the kids. So, the hubs is getting ready for school. I mean, I'm pretty much a solo act here. Also at work, things have been happening. We have, my work had a record number of things for us to process, and I'm just trying to be vague for privacy reasons, but a record number level of work. And on top of that, I think I've mentioned on here before that the company I work for does not align with my personal Christian values very well. So some things had happened along the lines with that. But suffice it to say, there was a week that I felt the most overwhelmed I'd ever felt in my entire life. The hubs had 4 tests that week, aka absolutely no help from him. And granted, I understand it. Like, he was very, very stressed. There's more behind that, why he's so stressed with that. But I don't want to get into that. It was just me with the kids, basically taking care of the household, everything, and going off on no sleep because I have a baby who requires regular feedings, and our toddler, she has had a very hard time lately with going to sleep. I'm talking like she will take like an hour, sometimes up to 2 hours, trying to get in the bed, constantly getting up, having tantrums, stealing our son's passy while he's sleeping, waking him up. So it was a lot of that. So it would end up being like I would get done getting everybody to sleep by 10, and then there's like this massive mess I have to clean up from dinner and get ready for the next day. And I had to hand wash all our dishes because, y'all, Indiana has terrible water. I did not even realize that hard water was such an issue up here. Water softener was not in my vocabulary. I had never heard of that. We went to Sam's Club and we were like, what is this water softener pellets? What is this? And in the basement there was an old one, and I was like, what is this? Looked like a dinosaur contraption looking thing, like from the dark ages, but I'm like, what is this? It has salt in it. What is this? We're in a rental, and there were some issues with the house. Their maintenance had to come in, and stuff is still in boxes because we still haven't unpacked. My toddler is getting into stuff, which is a safety issue. Going back to the water softener, because we had hard water, the water was not cleaning our dishes very well, like especially baby bottle parts. Those things are kind of hard to clean just because of the substance matter, if you didn't know. But I had to hand wash everything until we got a water softener. So that literally took me 2 hours to wash all parts of our dishes and our bottle parts. So I was going to bed at like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, turning up and getting up again around like 6. So that was very, very rough as well. Trying to think what else. We had a mouse at one point. Thankfully, he's been taken care of. So a lot of stuff going on at home and at work. I'm very, very, very overwhelmed. I'm just kind of laying it out here, being vulnerable with y'all to explain, maybe someone else has gone through something similar. Maybe this will be helpful for them. If you're contemplating doing something similar, this is maybe what you expect. I knew it would be hard. It's just, you know, you can only mentally prepare yourself so much. And, you know, I just got very overwhelmed. And then the Charlie Kirk assassination happened. And I will say for me, when I first heard that news, it was just like, I mean, I had followed him before, like, loosely. I didn't watch him every day or anything like that. But I had followed some of his points. I'd been to a Turning Point USA event to see Ali Beth Stuckey this past year, and really appreciated his work. And when I heard that, I was like, you know, the first thought in my mind was like, I'm not surprised with how violent things are getting on the left. And you know, unfortunately, we're kind of getting complacent as a society of the level of violence at that point. And then my next thought was, oh, like he just got shot. It's not just. Anybody getting shot is a big deal, but it did not occur to me that he would die from it. Like I maybe had like this invincible thing, like we've just gotten safe in our current times of, you know, people that we look up to being safe, you know. So then we found out that he had passed, and that was just, I have seen so many people say what I've been thinking of. It felt like I knew him, you know, like the same level of grief for somebody I would know. I never met Charlie Kirk. It's just the weirdest experience of grieving someone that I have never talked to, or they didn't know me, I didn't know them. But, you know, grieving that and just having the heaviness. And everybody who's a Christian has said how heavy it felt that week. Like, it just, spiritually, it just felt heavy. And it's just the strangest experience I've ever felt. And, you know, it was beyond words. And just seeing the level of evil, and then to come to find out, like, these people are celebrating his murder. And, you know, you think these people are on the fringe, but y'all, the work that I mentioned earlier, I found out that there's people I work with that excuse, if not celebrate. They didn't come out, like, did not come out and celebrate it, but excuse his murder. And I'm like, you know, I knew there was evil in the world, but I didn't realize how close it was. I knew I worked with people that did not have the same Christian values as me, polar opposite, but I thought we had a certain commonality in valuing human life, no matter who it is. I just assumed that was a given. And to find out that these people are closer than you think they are. So, yeah, that was just very disheartening and very, like, I was in a tailspin with my own personal life and then that. And, but, there's always a but. The Lord just has really used that darkness, and there is a light that's been shining through all of this. Like, I've been really heartened to see, like, I've seen Christians be revitalized by this, by taking up the mantle and being more bold in their faith. And just my Instagram feed has been filled with Christians speaking the truth and saying, I am no longer afraid. I am standing up for what I believe in. These are what I believe in, and I agree with, you know, most of those people. And you know, Amanda did a really good encouragement video. That was excellent. Something that I needed to hear as well. And the memorial service, y'all, if you haven't watched it, it's worth a watch, even though it's very long. I skipped through the breaks and stuff, but I pretty much watched all of it. I've never seen such a movement before of just a gathering of, majority of them, not all of them were Christians, but people worshiping, and like all the upper levels of state just like preaching the gospel, standing true in Christian faith. being true for Jesus, and it was very moving. And yeah, so that time I actually took the week off after I had already planned it. And I thank God I did, because there was more stuff that happened at work while I was gone, and the timing of that could not have been better for me, of taking time off of work, because it just really reset me, because I got some stuff unpacked, but most importantly, mentally, I was able to reset as much as I can, because I really got invested in the Word. And I'm sorry, this is a long update. I'm already at like 20 minutes. But I had not been reading my Bible much in the past year, basically, since my son's birth. Well, he hasn't been born a year yet. What am I talking about? But since pregnancy too, really. But so maybe that's where I'm getting the year mark from. But I've been I would go through short spurts of reading my Bible, but I have not been consistent like I had been prior to my daughter being born, 2.5 years ago. But that week, ever since Charlie's passing, I have been reading my Bible every single day in some shape or fashion, even if it's like a verse. I have started a new faith routine, which I will share at a later time. I think this video is long enough. But I've been very fed by the Word. I'll say that. And seeking comfort and just going all in on the Word. And it's been great. I did not even really have a desire to do much of anything else besides be in the Word, like studying deeply. The new church we joined, which is another thing that's been a very huge blessing. We started going to a Bible-believing church here. And it's just been such a blessing, finding community there. So that's excellent. But joined a Bible study with them. So being in the Word through that as well. And it's just been wonderful, being in the Word, and getting back into praying more consistently. I still need to do better with that, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of like teeny tiny little prayers get snuck in whenever I have time, and before dinner, but I need to be more intentional about praying for things, as I'm sure we all need to be. But I did not have any inkling to read any fiction. I just picked up a fiction book the other day. So I'm just a couple of days into getting back to reading fiction. I haven't read fiction before that for like a month. Just was not feeling it at all. Was not feeling the urge. Yeah, and then I've been way too busy to film, and do anything channel related, even though, well, honestly, I just had so much going on. I didn't have the urge to do anything YouTube related. But now, I feel that urge to be creative again and to talk to y'all and read. And so I'm thankful for that I have kind of emerged from that, hopefully, and can kind of start being more consistent with YouTube again. We'll see. There is a lot that I have on my plate, but yeah, I just really wanted to give y'all that's not a quick, an update about where I'm at with things. And I wanted to close out this video and get this video posted, because I want y'all to see it, but also to get space back on my phone. And I really want to do some videos soon. I plan on doing the name tag, which Amanda tagged me in, and a fall recommendations video, which I gathered books for last year, but I never filmed it. So most of the work is done with that. I'm going to add a few, I think, that I've read since then. But I really want to share some recommendations. So hopefully pray for me, y'all, that I can get those done. But yeah, I really appreciate y'all sticking with me and listening to me ramble and being there and commenting. I really do appreciate it. Y'all are the best. And the reason why I feel like I can come back, that I can devote time to this, is because it is a community. The booktube community is just filled with amazing people, supporters and fellow Christians that will pray and support each other. And I value it deeply. And I don't say that enough. So anyways, let me know how y'all are doing. If you're reading any books lately, if you have any thoughts to share, I always value y'all's interactions with me in the comments. But yeah, I will also plan on doing, starting up a vlog soon, because I think vlogs are pretty easy. You just kind of talk and there's not too much editing involved other than splicing clips together from different times. But I really want to show y'all some stuff, and I think I've run out of time with this video. So anyways, I will see y'all in another video. Have a blessed day. Bye, y'all.